So evening yogis, lovely yin session to wind us down from our day. So just join me on the mat, either seated or lying down. What does your body need today? Do you really need to rest the back? Lying down, or sometimes lying down isn't as comfortable, so just choosing where you want to be. Enjoy a few breaths. Just take that lovely noisy sigh on the exhale if that feels good for you. Let go. It's really quite nice to get on the mat in the evening. It's almost like it can draw a line at the end of your day of whatever busyness you've been doing physically or mentally. We can draw a line and just ease into our evening. So just take a few moments to reflect and tune into your body. Start at the head and just work your way down gradually. How do you feel around the neck and shoulders? Is there a lingering tightness from whatever you've been doing today? Checking in with the back and all the back muscles. And how our digestive system feels, how our hips feel, knees. So just a gentle awareness to come into our body. And it's so lovely with this particular practice that we get the lying down or the stillness between poses where we again reflect on how we're feeling in all respects. Just checking in how peaceful you're feeling, whether you're agitated, what emotions we're holding right at this minute. And just allow it all to be. Emotions can come in varying degrees as well. Have a moment just to also root down to the earth. If you're seated, perhaps from your tailbone. If you're lying down, through the feet or back of your body. And just feel safe, connected to the earth, connected to our mother. And then when you're ready, if you're lying down, just hug the knees in now. Have a nice gentle rock on your back. If you're already seated and you just want to flex the spine, join me as we come into Zazen. Nice seated practice. Haven't done this one for a while, but you know the one where we do the peace begins with me, with our fingers. Mantra and mudra combined. It's quite nice to come back to this. I'd forgotten about it for a while and reminded myself. So we touch each finger to our thumb tip and we just say peace begins with me. And we'll just start to just breathe easily. And then after a while, if you want to stop moving the hands and just rest them in the lap, then you can. But just maybe carry on with the mantra in your mind. So we'll do this for our meditation this evening. I'm going to start the timer for about 5 minutes. And then just rest the hands on your thighs or wherever you're comfortable. Drop the eyelids closed, relax, and then I'll just talk it through a few times. So peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Just carrying on. Nice gentle breaths. Keep relaxing, stay with your mantra. If you want to drop the hand movements and maybe just rest them in your lap, staying with the mantra a little bit longer. Staying with the mantra. So very gently just coming back from this practice. Have a moment just to notice whether you felt a lot more focused when you were doing the hand mudras as well as the mantra. Whether the mind started to maybe gradually wander off a little bit when you were just repeating the mantra in your head. Mine did a little bit and I had to just bring myself back, and then I stayed with it. But I think definitely the hands and the mantra together are a way of keeping you a lot more focused on your practice. So just a moment of reflection there really. We're going to come into oyster for our first pose. So the one where we are seated and just bringing the legs in front. I'm going to bring the right leg to the front and left leg just slightly tucked behind. So rather than tucking feet under, it's more like bringing the lower legs nice and parallel to each other, more or less. And this is a two-sided pose, so we'll just ease into this side. Just rest the hands down by the side of you and just gently come forward. So you're going to feel this gently in the hip area. And let's just soften. Take a few moments as we kind of ease into this pose. Noticing what you're feeling and then what we have to relax. And gently relaxing your calves and ankles. Inner thighs. Noticing your hips and whatever sensation you're getting. And just checking in with your shoulders, upper back, and your neck. Breathing to your belly. Allow the breath to just be soft but deep. And just noticing whatever you're feeling. Relaxing your face, upper body. And also just noticing where you're kind of comfortable in this pose, whether moving too much into it will become uncomfortable. Just being very aware of the hip joint. And noticing what our hips are relaying back to us. They can be very linked with our desires in life, pleasure and what goals we want to give ourselves. But also the fluidity of life and just going with the flow. And if we're resisting life, then sometimes we will feel it more pronounced in our hips. So we'll take a lovely deep breath and just ever so slowly coming up. And although it's only just a little move to come to the other side, we'll take a neutral pose just to kind of release all the feelings, feel whatever we feel as well. So take a moment as you lie down And let's just take a few breaths to begin to settle. It always takes me a few moments just to really let go here. Notice if that feels the same with you, just that kind of almost half a minute or a minute just to let the body straighten out. Start to relax the muscles that align along your spine. Giving your body permission to melt and soften. And just observing whatever you're feeling, any energy that's shifting around your body. And then perhaps now we can sort of feel all that sensation just dissipating. Let's hug in, right knee, left knee, and enjoy a nice little massage on your back. And in your own time, let's roll up. And ever so gently coming into the other side. So with that left shin to the front now, let's explore oyster, this side. So just again, relax. Having been leaning forward already, that might feel a bit easier. How does your right hip feel compared with your left? Starting to relax shoulders, neck and face. And if you have your eyes closed, just tune into whatever your body wants to give you, any feedback, any wisdom, having an open mind to receive. And gentle belly breaths. As you breathe, you can feel the back of your body open. Feels lovely. As we sit in this silence, reminds me of something Wayne Dyer often would say. Prayers are how we talk to God or the divine, but sitting in silence is how the divine talks to us. Something similar. Keep relaxing. And keep looking through the body for tension where you can let go. How heavy does your head feel? Can you just relax? And we'll just sit here just a little moment longer and just notice if there's any room for a little bit more stretch. And then with one more breath, we'll slowly lift up. Notice how it feels just to simply lift the head and the body. And then we'll find our neutral position. Noticing if those two sides were really different this evening or very similar and you couldn't tell much of a difference. Relax down. And again, just let's take a few breaths just to let everything start to soften. Allow yourself to relax. Loosen the muscles in the belly. Relax the shoulders. Let go through your face. And just gently check in with the structure of your spine, whether the chin wants to come in and the shape of the lumbar changes a little. And just for a few more moments, just focus on your breath here. And then we'll hug him. We're going to come into twisted roots next. Give our body a nice little twist. Have a moment just to rock though. And I always like to use a pillow for my knees. You might see that I'm moving a little bit tentatively this evening. I've still got a bit of a twinge in a nerve, so not as easily moving as normal. But it's okay, it will pass. So twisted roots. Lying down. We'll start by bringing the left leg over the right. And then just dropping over to the right hand side. If you want a little bit of cushioning for your left shoulder, grab another pillow. Sometimes that's nice. You may want it, may not. If you want a little bit more padding under the hip area, the side of the body, then you might need something there as well. Otherwise, let's just gently come into this pose, starting to soften. You might find if you've had something to eat this evening that your tummy might rumble. That's okay. It's just where we're stimulating digestion. And the beauty of this practice, yin, is that it actually assists our rest and digest. Keep relaxing. So let go of any tension in your calf muscles, your inner thighs. Start to relax the sides of your waist and lower back. And notice if your shoulders can just soften as you let go of tension. And maybe you can just close the eyes. Relax your cheeks. Keep checking in with the thighs and legs. Constant rotation of awareness around your body. Following your breath. Witnessing your thoughts. Relaxing the arms and backs of the arms, wrists. How does it feel this evening in this twist? Every time we come into a pose, it's always going to feel different. What are you noticing more this evening? Perhaps there's a lovely stretch across the buttocks or through your waist. Perhaps it feels lovely to breathe more so into certain parts of the chest. Keep relaxing the inner thighs. Nice deep breaths. How are you feeling in this pose? What's the emotion that you're noticing right now? And how does the pose feel this evening? Is it a welcome feeling? Or are you challenged in some respect physically or emotionally? So we'll take a breath. And then really nice and slowly, let's just unravel and allow our spine to realign. And as you move into neutral, just do it really slowly and with awareness. Taking care with every part that you just adjust. And relax. Start to allow that lower back to relax. Nice belly breaths here, just following them. Just following the rise and fall of the tummy. And we'll hug in, giving our spine just those few moments to let everything just come back into its original shape, all the cartilage between the vertebrae. And so we'll come into the other side. Bringing right leg over left, and perhaps either just rolling over, or I like to lift the body and really sort of turn consciously onto my side, relaxing that right shoulder back. Take a few moments just to kind of let your body sort of slip into the pose. And as we relax the muscles in our legs, nice deep breath, start to soften. I think especially the calf muscles and inner thighs are all the muscles we always have to come back to and just check in on. Relaxing shoulders, notice if they're tight and set in a position. Take the time to relax through your neck and face as well. And just enjoy. Notice what thoughts come up. Creative ideas and inspiration. Maybe the answer to something that you were in a quandary earlier about comes. See if there's a little bit more relaxation in the head and neck. Maybe your hands and wrists. How does it feel this side? Are you enjoying the pose? Where is your body enjoying this stretch? Hip, buttock, waist, shoulders. And just following your breath, feeling where it moves in the body. This position stimulates the solar plexus, among other chakras. So just noticing how you're feeling with the feelings that are associated with our solar plexus. Confidence or lack of. It's linked with our self-worth. Taking action or being lethargic and procrastinating. Just noticing these feelings or sensations that you're getting. So we'll just take one more breath now. Have 5 minutes on each side with that pose. Slowly just unwind. How did that feel? There are times where I don't enjoy that pose as much as my body may need it. And there are times when I really enjoy it. That is one of those times this evening. It actually felt really good. Have always that moment to reflect on whether a certain pose in an evening's practice feels really quite welcome and surprises you how much you like it sometimes, perhaps. So relaxing back. Lovely deep breath and a sigh. And again, just getting used to everything softening, and maybe it softens a little bit quicker each time. I like to imagine that all the cartilage between each vertebrae is just plumping up like a sponge. Keeping our spine nice and healthy. All the nerves and nervous system. So when you're ready, let's again just give ourselves a little hug. Drawing these in. We'll come into heart bench. If heart bench doesn't suit you this evening, I'll always offer you perhaps coming into bench where we lie back over the cushion. So just choose what your body thinks it might need. I'm going to go with heart bench this evening. So just where you're going to need a couple of blocks. One tall one at the back for the head and one long one that aligns along your spine behind your heart. And then ever so gently, lying back. Takes a few moments just to find the most comfortable position here. It does always feel awkward to start with. And just resting the back of the head. It will surprise you how fairly quickly you get used to this feeling. And it's really quite lovely on the front of the body just to sort of open and expand, which is a very unusual shape to take the front of the body. We're always usually kind of curved forwards. If this doesn't feel right, as I said, just lying back over a pillow, getting that same lovely stretch in our front of the body and thoracic spine. Nice deep breaths, relax. And just close the eyes. Follow the belly, rise and fall. Relax your face. Perhaps you can really feel the muscles around your chest and lungs and rib cage sort of move when you breathe. How do you feel in your heart center today? We're not all full of joy and delight. There are times when we'll be, down or just simply content. Just notice what's going on. Just keep looking through your body for anything else you can relax. Back of the neck, forehead, eyes, cheeks. Notice if your breath feels quite nice and even, or whether it's shallow, noisy. Enjoy being in your body. It's the only one we've got. Just stay with your breath. And we'll take 2 more conscious breaths, wherever you are. And we'll gently lift up. Use your arms to support lifting the head and body. Popping the blocks away and coming down. And enjoying how it feels on the way down as much as when you're relaxed here as well. If your eyes are closed, what colours are you seeing, if any? Notice if you're getting any colour, maybe purple in your mind's eye. Start to relax, letting go. And then we'll come into a nice little hug. So the last pose we're going to do is mantis. So just rolling up and then gently coming on to knees. I'm going to give you yogi's choice as well. If this particular pose, which I've chosen as the last one, doesn't feel right for you in whatever way, and you just feel like, actually, I don't really want to do that, I'd like to let my body do something else, please do. Often we can end with waterfall or bench. So I'm going to offer this one, but if it doesn't feel right for your knees, and you want to do something else, please do. I like to do this every now and then, just so that you kind of tune into your own body and let your own body's wisdom tell you what you want. Otherwise, come into this lovely stretch. We've come sort of forward and back with the body, and so we're just going to stretch the spine out. Nice deep breaths. Lovely for your stomach channel, this one. If you need to lift the forehead a little bit and just alter this pose, you can. You can bring sort of fists under the forehead. Just adapt it a little. Last pose to relax in. Sometimes if you're a little bit coldy or congested in the nose, it doesn't feel so nice to bring the head entirely down. Getting a nice stretch through the back. Nice deep breaths, tuning into whatever you're feeling. Just following the breath gently. Witnessing your thoughts. Just noticing that internal dialogue. Whether it's positive or negative. Whether you're veering into the future or the past. Or in the present. So we'll take one more breath. And lifting up slowly from whatever pose you chose, whether it was mantis or something else. Let's find neutral. Again, just nice, slow, conscious movements. Enjoy being in the body. It brings you into that present moment. Have a moment to lie down. Relaxing, just taking your time to let go. Feeling peaceful. Peace begins with me. Relax. And then just have a few moments to think about whether you want to stay lying down We'll come up to seated. And then you can hug your knees in gently. We're going to come into relaxation now. How does your back feel? How do your hips feel? If you started off with tension in the neck, how is that feeling? So, just gently choosing where you want to end your practice, relaxing. And just pulling over a lovely blanket, something to keep you warm. Feel drawn to the angel cards this evening. Let's see perhaps what wisdom we're drawn to. One's fallen out. I always take that. Let's just see. It's called Crystal. Have faith and hope because there is something positive and new on the horizon that you can't see yet. Let's read a little bit more. The seeds that you have planted are beginning to sprout results. You may not even be aware of these results. However, since they are in their infancy, now it is more important than ever to stay positive and to hold a clear vision of your desire and intention. Avoid skeptics or those with negative mindsets. Daily action, even if it only consists of baby steps towards the fruition of your dream, is essential. A phone call, a letter, or reading relevant material will help the energy of your manifestation at a high level. Every day, positively affirm that you have already achieved or exceeded your dream. And more important, ask the angels for assistance every step of the way. That's a lovely one. It's quite apt, as I'm quite keen on the manifestation and holding visions. So just sitting with that, visualizing whatever your desires or whatever you're aiming for that you already have. The law of attraction. When we vibrate and we are in alignment and coherence, then the universe can deliver. Very gently now, without moving, just draw your awareness back. Just checking in with how you're feeling on all levels, physically, mentally, emotionally and spiritually. Feeling peaceful, hopefully. Ready for a good night's sleep and a really healthy and healing night's sleep as well. The kind of sleep where you wake up quite refreshed and renewed and actually looking forward to your day. Vibrant. So if you're lying down, just begin to wiggle fingers, toes. If you're seated, you can roll shoulders and rock the head. Noticing maybe when you go to sleep tonight, what your last thought is. Quite often what our last thought is, they say, is what we wake up thinking. So if it's a worry or a concern, try to put that aside and just go to bed with a positive thought. All is well. And then maybe tuning into what you wake up thinking or what vibration you wake up with. The night time is when the mind assimilates and digests and files everything away. So what we feed it last thing at night can be quite powerful. So having a nice little rock and coming up to seated. All these lovely little hints and tips just to keep us in our well-being state. Have a moment just to settle. And then when you're ready, you can bring hands to heart center. Om Shanti. Namaste.